So we are waiting for the 2025 super cycle to bounce, because once it finds a bottom, this is rumored to be the super cycle. This is rumored to be where we can now, with the big update, 200x the money that we can put in at these lows if Murad's thesis is right. Now, I'm going to talk about Murad's thesis and meme coins specifically in this video because it's one of the niches, should we say, that I'm most bullish on. However, I want to mention two other big niches just to make sure you're categorizing these right in your mind. There's three different strong narratives. There's actually probably four, but I'm going to give you three. Abu says, a reminder, AI coins will have the biggest comeback in the history of crypto. He's bullish on AI and the narrative of AI going into 2025, even 2026, because AI breakthroughs are crazy. I think people are really underestimating how earth-shattering some of those announcements and news headlines are going to be. The other man that we follow here on the channel is Alex Becker, and he says, BlackRock, governments, corporations buying more than ever. People that put their life savings into the chill guy meme are telling you that it's over. So that's one type of person, the big governments, the institutions, the people with all the wealth, and then the fools running around buying TikTok memes that just bleed out to zero because there's no new narrative coming. They're the ones telling you that this is finished. Have patience. All this money is going to flow back into, this is the second category right here, utility alts. RWA, I believe AI is probably considered utility alts as well. Gaming, Becker's really bullish on, and probably layer one and infrastructures. That is the second category that Alex Becker is putting most of his money into because he's actually not that big of a fan of meme coins. However, Murad is exclusively buying and invested in meme coins. And Mr. Whale tweeted out that Murad's meme coin bags are down more than 30 million US dollars, and not one single token has been sold by Murad. Why? Because he thinks that we are going to the moon. He says, most of you don't realize how lucky you are to be here. 2025 will be the most exciting year of your life. If you put money where your mouth is, and if Murad's thesis plays off, they're the two variables. Because if Murad's thesis plays off and you're not invested, but you're here at this point in time, you're probably going to not be very excited for the rest of the year. Murad even says, the bull market hasn't even begun. Yes, I'm serious. And I talked about this yesterday and how we're on the verge of the banana zone, the super cycle, and these 30 to 70% pullbacks, totally natural and normal. And Murad's biggest holding, he had 20 or $30 million of this one token at the all-time high, is SPX 6900. He says, the amount of energy brewing for SPX 6900 is absolutely insane. Day after day, SPX 6900 is the only coin growing on all time frames. These aren't simple holders, they are die-hard believers. We are at $500 per Bitcoin level, as in this is the equivalent. If you buy an SPX 6900 now, it's the equivalent of buying Bitcoin at $500. And if you have a look at this, it measures the number of holders that a token has. And you can see SPX 6900 is growing over this week where everything else has been pulling back and people have been selling out of their tokens. You can see that SPX is continuing to add holders. And as the tweet says, they're not just holders, but die-hard believers. Believe on Twitter says that largest liquidation event in crypto history occurred, which is true by the numbers. SPX, believe in something. No Trump coin, no liquidation event, nothing can stop us. Price can always be volatile in this market, especially in events like these. One thing that is not normal is that holder count continues to grow. Again, everyone's talking about people were probably sidelined waiting for SPX to pull back to actually start getting into it. And you can see it's one of the only tokens, specifically meme tokens, that have been growing in this pullback in terms of holder count. It's definitely been decreasing in terms of price. The community is totally unaffected. Whatever post you see about SPX will be bullish. This project, this community is something else. This is the final resets. Congrats for getting a super duper discount at the price that it's pulled back to. These are the only numbers you have to reflect upon. Stop trading dollar cost average into SPX 6900, and for once in your life, believe in something. And he's putting the holders of the SPX token on ETH, on Sol, and on Base, and how they're climbing on all three of those chains. And Murad backs this up. He says, pay attention to the coins that are hustling, vibing, and bull posting, and showing up and diamond handing regardless of the price, regardless of the recent pullback. Those are the ones that are going to go to tens of billions in a few months. And guys, if it goes to $10 billion, that's a 20x from here. And the nice thing about these tokens, and I'm an investor in these tokens because I do believe that this thesis is likely to play out. I give it about an 80% chance in my personal uneducated opinion. But if it does play out, you can move 500 grand in. You can move $1 million in if you have that sort of money and risk tolerance, because the liquidity is there. When you're trading tiny little micro caps, you cannot do that without absolutely getting wrecked by low liquidity. Maddox says the reason why SPX 6900 and Giga will win. Giga is the second biggest token that Murad is a fan of, which is also pulled back into my buy zone of the $300 million market cap level. The coins that grow to $100 billion plus. And guys, the $100 billion level, if that does pay off, and SPX is currently at about a 500 mil market cap, that's a 200x on your money, $1,000 to 200 grand. The ones that get there are those that have a very high percentage of holders who believe so hard that they never sell. Bitcoin, XRP, and Doge prove this. These were the original cults in the last cycle. This cycle, SPX and Giga are the coins with such die-hard believers. And interestingly enough, I was like, oh, how many pullbacks did Doge have before it went parabolic? And if I come through and actually get rid of the big run up here, you can see some crazy strong pullbacks from 1.7 cents all the way down to 0.002 of a cent. It's just like 90% wiped out. And if I remove that, you can see it's happened here. Again, massive pullback that they had to go through to have this biggest meme cult that currently exists. And then even in 2014, the same thing happened again. And this is what Murad's thesis is that big cults are built over time as the paper hands are shaken out. Moo agrees with this. He says, this is the flush we needed in order for meme coins to go on their next run. This is literally the third time in this cycle when everyone thinks memes are dead, only to go parabolic and reach an all-time high just weeks later. I'm going to give you Murad's timeline in just a second. We are witnessing the birth of multi-cycle meme coins, which Doge, XRP, they are cults that have been multi-cycle. Along with Doge and SHIB, the memes that survive are here for the long run, whether we like it or not. And Murad, just today, tweeted out this piece of research that he has been stuck into. He says, this is the single most important metric to measure diamond-handedness among meme coins. The percentage of holders that have ever held more than $100,000 of the coin and are still holding more than 50% of their coins. Meme coins boil down to belief, and the most loyal believers will inherit the earth. That's what we're here to do in this super cycle, inherit the earth, buy Ferraris, whatever your hopes and dreams are. Murad thinks that meme coins could be that ticket. And you can see with all the meme coins that he's put through this filter, he's got SPX on ETH, and they're the same token. They just wormhole. They portaled over to Solana so that people on the Solana blockchain can buy and sell on Solana. But this is the exact same token. He's just measured it twice because, and funny enough, both chains you're ranking in the top 4 of diamond handedness, which is whales, people with over 100K still holding at least 50% of those coins. And if you come down to the bottom, something like GOAT, it only has 7% of those whales are holding it. Even PopCat, which is a Murad meme, only have 16% of those whales still holding 50% of their coins. Now, timeline. Murad says yesterday, watch organic cult meme coins go ballistic in the coming weeks and months. This is the timeline that he's thinking that this will actually occur in. Because obviously, we probably won't time the exact bottom. But if we dollar cost average and we're smart, we can get a nice low price that when you reflect on, it's like, well, it didn't matter what day you bought. Anything would have been profitable. Because Murad thinks Bitcoin is going to $200,000 a coin. SPX 6900 will go to a $100 billion market cap. We can get the exact market cap at what it's at today. It's just under $600 million market cap. And if you want to have a look at the graph of it, strong pullback from a $1.5 billion all the way down less than 50% from all-time high, which, remember, this is one of Murad's criteria. He wants to invest in cults that have had 70% drawdowns and shaken out the non-believers. Ledger Nomad highlights this on Twitter. It says people are chasing rotation, scrambling for narratives, trying to trade every tick, while the real plays are right in front of them. Giga and SPX 6900, they're not just tokens, they're new financial gravity. And these cults use a lot of philosophy and esoteric terms to describe what is happening, what these fundamental shifts are happening as people are realizing that cult meme coins are one of the highest performing tokens, niches in the entire crypto space. He says the bull market hasn't even begun, quoting Murad. The ones who see it now will never have to chase it later. This isn't about catching a move. It's about understanding the inevitable before the rest of the market does. Narrative trading, what we do here on this channel. Subscribe if you're not currently subscribed, because we are all about finding what other people are going to find out in a month or 2 months from now and getting in before they do. Stop trading, start believing in something. He talks about the Bitcoin cult, the SPX cult, and now the Giga cult. I want to leave you with something slightly off topic, but I thought it was pretty phenomenal. I've heard Michael Saylor talk about it specifically. Now, this is, so everybody knows, a parody account. It's not actually Michael Saylor, but it's a Michael Saylor parody talking about something that Michael Saylor has talked about before. He says, BlackRock is buying Bitcoin. And why are we talking about Bitcoin in this meme coin video? Well, because that is most of the liquidity comes through Bitcoin. Everyone makes a lot of money in Bitcoin, and then the liquidity flows down the crypto whip into these smaller meme coins and the micro caps, the alts, utilities, everything that Becker is playing as well. He says, soon, banks will lend against Bitcoin, just like they do with real estate. People borrow against houses to buy more houses. That's why real estate markets are inflated and crazy. Now imagine that with Bitcoin. You can borrow and buy more Bitcoin with Bitcoin, and it becomes a self-reinforcing loop of demand. The difference between houses and Bitcoin, however, is Bitcoin is global, scarce, and liquid 24/7. The Bitcoin credit era is coming, and to think that meme coins and the top meme coins will absolutely pop once that is available to borrow liquidity on top of your liquidity that you've locked up, things are going to get nuts. And you want to get as educated as possible to make sure you're putting yourself in the right position to capitalize.